Hey everyone, it's Rob here again. So I've made it into Lake's entrance. I just went down to the main town and I drove past this scenic lookout. So I went down to the main town, did a U-turn and came back, and it doesn't disappoint. Now the weather's actually starting to come good as well, which really is going to make today even better than what it would have been if it was raining. But yeah, you've got these rivers. Further along, you've got 90 Mile Beach, Golden Beach, and then they come out to the bay there. So, like I said in the last video, if you get a chance to come down to Eastern Victoria and Gippsland, definitely spend some time down here and go and see all the sights. This is only the scenic lookout, so I haven't even seen any of the other parts of the town yet. So let's go and check it out. Alright, I just drove through the main part of town, past the town centre, all the shops, and I just saw one of those maroon purple signs, brownie signs, points of interest, and come to this Eastern Beach. Now I've heard of this before, this place. I suppose it's really good for swimming, and it's really popular in summer. No pets, no fires, no camping. Very similar to the rules in Melbourne. Just about every beach, I believe you can't have a fire on. As for camping on beaches, I already touched on that earlier when I was down at my previous campsite a couple of days ago. Camping on beaches, it's pretty much non-existent in Victoria. I mean, you could do some research and try and find some, but it's probably going to be at a caravan park, so not directly on the sand. I'd be worried about the tides anyway if I was camping directly on the sand. Alright, so let's go for a walk up. Got my boots on today, so it's a little bit easier to walk in this soft sand. And my shoes aren't going to be full of sand either. These things are a little bit more sealed than my Vans. Hopefully we can see some people down here. Yep, we've got some people sunbathing, just relaxing on the sand. Some of these waves are pretty decent sized. Don't know if this is actually a surf beach. I'd have to do a bit of research into it. But going by the size of some of those waves, you probably, yeah, if you were into surfing, you could probably come out here and do it. Just, once again, it's really, you'd have to be a pretty experienced swimmer as well. I wouldn't want to just go out there and start swimming. Looks a little bit too rough for me. Yeah, so it's a very nice beach. Not many people down here, seeing as it's midweek. But the temperature's still pretty nice. I'm in a t-shirt. The sun's trying to peep through, but at least we've got some sun today. I've been so used to overcast this whole trip and rain this whole trip, so hopefully today, being down in Lake's entrance, we won't have to deal with getting rained on all day. So as I was driving through the main town, I saw lots of parks, things to do for kids. There was even a blow-up kind of water park. If anyone's seen that TV show Wipeout, it looks something similar to that, but for kids. Whoa. There goes my shoes. So they're soaking wet now. Don't stand too close to the water. You'll end up getting a boot full or shoe full of water. So now I'm gonna have to dry these out. But you know, I do remember as a kid doing that. You go close to the water as it was coming in and just try and race it in. So there's a lot of kid-friendly things to do around here. This would be great for families and great for people who come down to the beach and don't wear shoes. But hey, it's just a little bit of water. I can dry them out. Just throw it in front of the fire when I get it going later, and just swap into my other pair for now. So anyway, we'll head down to the main town. I'll walk down to where that kind of blow up activity on water thing was for kids. There's a scenic bridge crossing the canal, so I'll walk across to the other side and have a look what's over there, and hopefully there's a little bit more to see. Alright, seeing as I'm waiting for my shoes to dry, I've just got them on the front of my car, so hopefully they can dry out there. The sun warming up that bonnet, hopefully it gives it a little bit of time to dry out. Anyway, I'm going to take my opportunity. I see here down at Eastern Beach, I can film this playground now. There's no children here. That's one thing I won't do, film playgrounds, especially if there's kids around. So you got a picnic area with barbecue supplied by the local council. Quite a few picnic tables to set up, so I think scattered around the place is at least 10 of them. Playground with some shades, so good to come down and have some lunch with the kids. Anyway, just over here I noticed that we've got some showers, so I'm going to seize my opportunity and have a quick shower, something you don't really get a chance to do. Oh, shoot, better be careful around here. I'll stick to the paths. There's a needle cap there, so I don't know where the other part is, but whenever there's needle caps around, yeah, I shouldn't really be walking around with no shoes on. So luckily I didn't stand on anything. All right, just a standard shower block. They're probably going to be absolutely freezing, but that's you know, a luxury I'm not going to get while I'm camping. Even having a shower is something I wasn't expecting to have. All right, after we finish this, let's head down to the beach and go check out the rest of the areas. Alright, so I've headed along back into the main town. Just turned into this main car park here. Just saw a sign saying main beach walk, so it actually worked out well. That attraction that I was talking about earlier, that looks kind of like a wipeout setup, that's just over there. So I see a workman over there with a tinny. Not sure if he's setting it up, just maintaining it, but it's definitely not in operation right now. It's probably more of a weekend thing, or if the weather permitting, tourists permitting, they'll have it going. And being a Tuesday, Wednesday, it's midweek, the weather's kind of average. Yeah, so obviously they don't have it going at the moment. They're just, you can hear him with the pumps going. He's probably just inflating them all, making sure they're all at the correct levels. Anyway, we've got docks along here. There's hundreds of boats all tied up to the docks if I was to walk all the way along. But I just want to walk across this footbridge here and just see where that takes me. The water's clear, very clear. When I get into the centre, I'll turn the camera back on and we'll just see how clear it is up there. Just gonna walk past all these fishermen. Don't know if they've caught anything. I know this town's pretty good for fishing, so if you plan on doing a little bit of fishing, Lake's Entrance, that's one of the things it's definitely known for, fishing. So bring a few rods, throw them in and see if you can catch anything. In the center of the bridge, can't see the bottom of the water. Oh, I've got a workman following me in his little ute. So I was just reading a little bit of information on the sign back there. This bridge was built back in the 1930s, I think, and it's been had repairs over the years, and I think I read in 2009 it was actually replaced, so that's good. It's not an old timber deck. Alright, so going back to this place being good for families. Lake's Family Swim Beach. Shallow water, do not dive. Deep water outside of boom. So a boom, I'm not sure if they called that in other countries, but it's pretty much something that floats on top of the water, and underneath that there's a curtain that drops down, so you can't go through it. The only way you can get through it is going over the top. So they've made this beach pretty safe for swimming for families. I'm not sure how far out it would go, but they'd have a limit. They'd run it from one, I guess, that point to that point. And when it's in operation, they'd obviously have lifesavers here. So they've got all the amenities you need. See, there's a toilet block and showers over there, and there's a kiosk, so you can go get ice cream, food, drinks, whatever you like. So it's a pretty good spot. It'd be really good to come here on a nice summer's day. On the weekend, I can just imagine it would be packed full of people. Two-hour walk. 2-hour return walk. I'm not sure if I'm keen on doing that today. So, by the looks of things, it'll take me right out to the water's edge where both points meet, right into the water. I'll just go for a little bit of a walk. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a guy just in front of me at the start of this little clip, and he had a metal detector. So I've heard of people doing that before. I've never actually seen it. People going along beaches using a metal detector. Once they get a bit of a bing or whatever noise it makes, they'll actually dig it up. And I've heard of stories of people finding rings, returning wedding rings that have been lost for 40 years. So it must actually work, but it's something that's pretty interesting. I've never actually done it before, but you know, I'm into camping, he's into metal detecting on beaches. Each to their own. So just following this path along. The sand's pretty well, yeah, it's pretty well set. It's not a soft sand like I had to deal with the other few times walking down to the beaches. So you got some palm trees, just all tropical tropical kind of trees around this area, which is really nice. Saw some black swans back there at that swimming area. So let's just hope we don't come across any danger noodles, as they call them, or snakes. Okay, just walking along, I have hit this fork in the road, so you can either head to the beach, head to the entrance meaning the heads of Lake's entrance. But anyway, I'm just gonna divert off to this left hand side down towards the beach. I want to see if we can catch up and see the guy with the metal detector, and see if he's actually found anything, or if I'm close enough to him. He could be 500 meters away from me, depending which way he's walked. Bit of a narrow track, but you're wired in. They've got these posts all in the ground. They've got steps leading down to the beach. So everything's pretty well established down here. So I just came to a sign back there. There was still 1.9 kilometers to go on that walk. So this is going to be one of those things where I'm probably going to have to come back and do it. So possibly tomorrow I'll set my alarm early and try and do this walk, because it wouldn't be too bad to see the heads back there. Weather permitting, tomorrow 19 degrees, 20% chance of rain, so it's not going to be a bad day. Even now they've got the weather wrong here. 14.2 feels like 12.7, so if I'm walking around in shorts and a t-shirt, there's no way it feels like 12.7. It feels closer to 20.7. Anyway, we'll head back to the main town. There's a few more things I want to go around and have a look at before we make a move to the campsite. So let's head back. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Rob here again. So this next campsite we're going to, just been driving along this unsealed road for about 5 kilometers.
Take the next right onto Cameron's Arm #1 track.
And it's pretty rough. It is pretty rough. So let's see what the track's like leading to the campground.
Continue on Cameron's Arm #1 track for 2 kilometers.
Just I don't know, I'm not liking the look of the road there. I might back out and go to the next one down. Unfortunately, the campground that I wanted to go to, there's actually 4 of them and one right at the end. The roads are pretty average. So you've got an unsealed dirt / gravel track, which is the main path. And then when you turn into these campgrounds, it's actually just dirt road. And because we've had so much rain, it's turned into sludge and mud. So I'm not going to take the risk. If I was to turn in there, I get stuck. It's more trouble than what it's worth. So I'm just not going to bother, and I'm going to reassess. Do I go back to where I stayed last night, or do I find a new one? Seeing as I want to go back to Lake's entrance tomorrow, just do a little bit more walking around, maybe it's worthwhile going back to the one I stayed at yesterday. Okay, so everything didn't go to plan. I stopped at a rest area and was just checking it out. There really wasn't too much there. It was kind of just a gravelled area with some rocks that were being used as barricades, so if someone went crazy in their car and they're not going to run you over, they're just going to hit a massive rock. So I've come back, my wish came true. I came back to this area. I'm going to have another night here. I'm just setting up again in the same spot. Same setup as last night. The only difference is I'm going to be using the blow-up mattress. So, be pumping this for 2 or 3 minutes. And then we'll get some food cooking and the fire going. I really want to get into this because it's starting to really cool down and I'm still in my pair of shorts, so I think it's almost time to change. Hey everyone, so I'm just doing a little bit of a recap on earlier. Just heading to that campground before. I tried to go the first one that I had in mind, and then I thought, oh, okay, I know there's a few more along the way, but unfortunately, the roads just weren't suitable for my car. I could have taken the risk. Do you do it? Don't do it? It's one of those 50-50 chance kind of things. So I decided to bite the bullet and just head back to the campsite that I came to last night. And you know, when you enjoy a place, it sticks in your mind, so you may as well just go to places that you've been to before. Usually you'll head back there every so often anyway, so I decided to come back to this campsite, and I'm the only one here tonight and I'm really enjoying it so far. I've got the fire going a little bit better than what I had last night because we had so much rain the night before. The ground was pretty wet, but today was, as you could see in the previous videos or clips, it was a pretty bright blue sunny day, so it's was a lot easier to start the fire and keep going. So I'm going to keep this roaring for a while. I'm currently cooking a very late dinner, a 9:30 p.m. dinner, but that's okay. I'll enjoy it regardless. I'm very hungry. It's been a long day, so hopefully tomorrow we can get get that walk out of the way and we can head to that next campsite, because I'm really looking forward to going to this next place, and I hope you guys enjoy it too.